Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Here we are for a wonderful Shabbat in the round service. I always like that. Well, we have a few announcements to tide us over. Originally I thought, I'm just going to pass over these announcements, but then I thought that pun...
I'd like to pass over this entire week coming up.
I don't think so. There's a lot of good things coming.
I know, but it's a lot of stress.
It's a lot of stress.
And the cleaning and all that stuff.
Well, we're not going to pass over it, and we're going to probably run that pun into the ground. But Sunday, so Saturday night obviously is the first night of Passover. We're going to be with our families. It's hopefully enough people have gotten the vaccine that you can have a few people at least that you're comfortable with over to your home. And then on Sunday, we are having our first ever, really. Well, it's our second. It's our second, right. Our second ever virtual Passover Seder.
And we can promise you it's going to be better than the first.
All right. But a lot of people did love last year.
Sure,
So they're going to double love this year.
But we didn't know what we were doing last year. We were just like pressing buttons on Zoom and hoping it worked. So now we know.
Don't tell them the truth. We knew what we were doing. All right. So 5 p.m. Sunday, we are partnering with Temple Sinai, and we're bringing in a special guest, Chava Morel, and it'll be at 5 p.m. And the two of us, and Rabbi Olshine, and the clergy from Temple Sinai, we're all going to be together. Some segments will be pre-recorded, and a lot of it will be live, starting at 5, maybe an hour, hour and 15, and then in your homes you'll eat, and we'll have a good Passover together. So the only thing that we're missing really is dessert. I wish there was a program that would teach us how to make Passover food, coffee. Is there such an animal?
There is. So some people call it matzah toffee. Some call it matzah crack because you have to crack it up. And some people call it matzah roka. But it's really all one and the same. And it's pretty much the most delicious way to enjoy matzah. And on a date night, probably 12 years ago or 13 years ago, Jeremy and I took a class on how to make this, and ever since then I've been making it every year. And so we're going to be making it with Cooking with Cantor in my kitchen, virtually into your kitchen on Tuesday night so that you can make it too. I've posted the ingredients and the recipe on my personal page, but I will post it on the Near to Mead page after the first couple of nights of Passover. But it's pretty simple. You need matzah, butter, brown sugar, and chocolate, and you can make it happen.
All right. So it's a pretty fun night because also on Tuesday night we're going to have the membership committee's monthly trivia night, but it will start at 7 p.m. And what they're doing this time, very special guest, friend of our congregation, Michael Green, Mr. Las Vegas history himself, will be there to add to the trivia experience. So that's going to be Tuesday night at 7. And then Rabbi Olshine, again on Tuesday at 7. For those of you, if you choose neither of those activities, you can go to the Social Justice Study Group as they continue to discuss The Color of Love by Mara God and intersectionality. So all of this stuff is available through the temple website, and you can come, you can have fun, you can have something serious, but it's another wonderful Passover activity. And the fun continues on April 1st with Cantor, and she is joining with Jewish Nevada, the synagogues valley-wide. What's going on with this? They call it a pandemic Seder.
Yes, we're having a pandemic Seder. We have some special guests joining us, and it is a collaboration that we've been working on, a bunch of the Cantors in the Valley with Jewish Nevada. We've been working on creating this really interesting service where we have a modern-day take on what this past year has meant and how that relates to Passover and in a Seder form. So I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but you'd have to just tune in.
No, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
But
I'll go anyways.
I'm going to give you one example so you can kind of get it. So one example
Girls, does that make a lot of sense? No.
I'm going to give you an example. So,
all right.
So in a place of the Maggid, we're talking about our personal stories from this past year. We're going to hear from someone who gave birth during the year of COVID. We're going to hear from some of our teachers. We're going to hear from some of our first responders about what it was like and their Maggid and their journey to being here. So it's pretty cool, actually.
All teasing aside, that sounds really, really good. That's April 1st. That's Thursday. I almost forgot. At noon, that'll be our monthly schmooze.
It will be. Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be our special guest.
I mean, we could say anything because it's April Fool's.
That's right. But our special guest happens to be an aspiring comedian, one of our former students, Rachel Katz, who is going to tell us about her journey to become a comedian. Right now she's working with
Piff the Magic Dragon.
Piff the Magic Dragon. So she's got a really interesting story. That is noon at 12 o'clock. So these are all the good things happening. One last announcement that is so important, and that is from Synagogue to Senate. On April 18th, we will be honoring Senator Jackie Rosen. We are so proud of her. She just got appointed to the U.S. Holocaust Council Commission, which is an incredible honor to add to the numerous honors that she is racking up over these last couple of years.
So we're going to honor her.
We're going to honor her. And how can they participate besides attending?
So it is a virtual gala, but this is the kind of gala that you really want to go to. You can even dress up in a ball gown and just stay in your living room. I would highly recommend it. So it's going to be on April 18th at 6 p.m., and it's going to feature some really big names. And when I say really big names, like really big names. So we're going to release those names on April 1st so that you can find out what to expect. But we hope that you can go on our website in the meantime and sign up to view it. Thanks to generous sponsors, there's no charge to view it, but we do want you to show your love in any way that you can contribute to this as a way of contributing to our congregation.
All right, because it is our major fundraiser. So that's great. So to top it off, we forgot to tell them all about what's going on in Sunday school.
Oh, yeah, there's no Sunday school. Take a break, have a Sunday off. I think maybe go on a bike ride, right?
No Sunday school?
There's no Sunday school this
well,
week.
there you go.
It's Passover.
So listen, I knew these announcements would make you happy. Now, with the 2 minutes we have left.
Maybe we should bring in Shabbat.
Should we bring in Shabbat?
I think I want
What
to
do you
hear
say,
somebody,
guys?
I want to hear somebody pray.
All right, let's
You
get
guys
started.
want to hear somebody pray? Okay.
I want to hear somebody pray.
I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody pray. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to hear somebody pray. All right, you can put in the chat what you want to hear or see in the world. Do you guys have any ideas of what you want to hear and see? You want to hear somebody sing?
Dance.
Okay. I want to hear somebody sing. I want to hear somebody sing. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to hear somebody sing. All right, anyone back there? What do you want to hear? Nothing? You want to hear guitars? All right. I want to hear the sound of the guitar. I want to hear the sound of the guitar. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to hear the sound of the guitar. All right, you got another one over there?
Dance.
Dance. All right, we're going to see somebody dance. I want to see somebody dance. I want to see somebody dance. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to see somebody dance. All right, we have in our chat peace and love. How about I want to feel peace and love? I want to feel peace and love. I want to feel peace and love. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to feel peace and love. I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody pray. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to hear somebody pray.
So good Shabbos again, everyone, and welcome to another Shabbat in the round, COVID style. Though we are not quite ready to welcome folks back into the synagogue yet, this joyful music that we sing each month continues to bring us together and inspire us. Tonight, as we are, a day away from Pesach, I thought I would share with you a few vignettes with a Passover theme. My thoughts cover the gambit from thanksgiving to sadness, from gratitude to modern-day miracles. So come, join the fun, sing along, and let your heart lead the way.
How about we have from Faye, I want a happy Passover. I want everyone to have a happy Passover. I want everyone to have a Pesach Sameach down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody pray. And we're so glad that we can be together back with our whole Shabbat in the Round band and two of our Sheer Heart singers, Yael and Zoe. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam prepare to bring in the light of Shabbat. If you have Shabbat candles nearby or you know where to find them, go ahead and take a moment, grab them, and light them as we say the prayers. Welcome the Shabbat angels. Shalom Aleichem Malachei HaSharei Malachei
Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh Baruch Hu.
The main point of Passover is to tell the story of how we were slaves, now we are free. The design of the Seder is to inculcate our children and subsequent generations what has essentially become our origin story as a people. Of all the Jewish holidays, Passover is perhaps the most widely observed. And there is one particular spot in the Seder that we really don't need a symbolic or metaphorical reminder this year. It's the point where we take our glass of wine and we pour out one drop of wine for each of the 10 plagues. Living in the time of a pandemic of biblical proportions, who needs a reminder of how a plague impacts a society? So last week I attended a virtual convention of colleagues. In one of the workshops, Rabbi Elise Goldstein offered the suggestion of, instead of removing a drop of wine this year, we instead focus on the positive and add a drop of wine. This week I modeled her idea and sent my own list of 10 blessings to you, our community. But I thought, in appreciation, I wanted to share with you Rabbi Elise Goldstein's list as well. She writes, "We add a drop of wine to increase our sweetness, using our spoon as a symbol of not using our fingers in a normal way during these times. At the end of the 10th blessing, we should say L'chaim." Her 10 blessings are: we are healthy. We have volunteered to shop for people we might normally be in contact with, to deliver groceries, to counsel, or to call someone struggling. 3, we have reached out with a phone call, a text, a message, paying attention to our family and friends in a thoughtful way. 4, we are supporting local restaurants by ordering from them. 5, we are supporting medical frontline personnel by staying home. 6, we have learned new technologies and stretched our skills even when we thought we would resist. 7, we have innovated our Jewish traditions and familiar customs and given going to shul a new urgency and a new meaning this year. 8, we have experienced the arts in new ways, theater and music with a new appreciation for the artists who make these things possible. 9, we have slowed down in order to pay attention to what is important. And finally, we are paying attention to the earth and the environment, appreciating the first buds of spring, if even from our windows. L'chaim, to life.
A beautiful midrash depicts Adam's first night on earth, alone in the garden. He shudders as the sun begins its descent from the sky, fearful that it will never arise again, and he will be relegated to a lifetime of darkness. Watching, waiting, his weary eyelids grow heavy as the last light fades. until the first gleam of daybreak emerges from the horizon just hours later. The light has returned. Adam realizes that this is the way of the world, the passing of time, the seamless flow of light into dark, and darkness back again into light. Please rise as you're able.
Dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Please be seated as Yael and Zoe lead us in the Ve'ahavta.
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלבתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך ובשרתם להיות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתיתם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
One of the great things about Passover is not only the retelling of the story, but it's the idea that Jews all over the world are telling the same story. And as we tell that same story, it hits us depending upon the history of the place, the country that we are living in. And so I want to share with you a Passover miracle that took place in the Jewish community of Uganda. At Passover, every person is supposed to feel as though he himself left Egypt. For me, in the Jewish community of Uganda, we do not need to imagine. In our lifetime, we were rescued from slavery and saved by divine intervention in order to celebrate. When Field Marshal Idi Amin Dada took power in Uganda by way of the gun in 1971, he outlawed Judaism and confiscated our synagogues and most of the Hebrew books. Practice of Judaism was punishable by death. He was a modern-day Pharaoh. He gave the communities two alternatives: either convert to Islam or Christianity, or remain unaffiliated. He murdered anyone suspected of opposing his rule, and judicial executions were the order of the time. Many feared for their lives and converted to the two majority religions, Islam and Christianity. However, things did not go well for the Christians either. The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda was run over by army trucks in a stage-managed accident, and the Chief Justice, who was also a Christian, was shot dead on Amin's orders. Growing up during this era was a hard pill to swallow. Adults and children would shout insults at Jews, and no one did anything to stop them. We were not permitted to wear any Jewish symbols, including kippot, nor were we allowed to appear anywhere near the synagogue premises. We dared only to pray and learn under the cover of the night in our bedrooms. My father, Rabbi Yondav Keki, was caught studying Torah in the sukkah that he had built in the backyard of our house, and only survived after the arresting officer demanded a bribe. 3 leaders of the community, including Yaakov Ware and Yaakov Kasaka, were arrested and tortured for collecting iron sheets that had been blown off the roof of the Moses synagogue of Nabagoya. In that same year, when a hijacked plane full of Jews was held at Entebbe by Palestinian terrorists with the permission of Idi Amin, a fast was secretly declared and silent prayers were conducted, each family praying in their bedrooms. The daring rescues of the hostages gave hope to community members that sooner or later Idi Amin's rule would diminish or be destroyed. This came to pass on Wednesday, 11th April 1974, corresponding to the 14th of Nisan, Erev Pesach, when the new government comprised of Ugandan rebels and Tanzania troops declared freedom of worship. This was considered a miracle from above and was celebrated in a special style. More than 4 cups of 80% proof Uganda banana wine were served, making everyone excessively happy by the end of that Seder. No more than 300 of the nearly 3,000 earlier members remained steadfast and loyal to Judaism, which makes me think that had Amin's regime continued for another 5 years, the community might not have survived at all. Passover remains a special moment for all of us. I will always remember my first Seder ever. It is amazing that the reign of terror ended and that freedom of worship was reinstated at the season of freedom. Each year as the community grows, Passover is the moment that we celebrate both our ancient and modern freedom. With the help of Jews from all over the world, the synagogue that was destroyed is being rebuilt better and stronger than ever. The Jews of Uganda live.
And if we were only freed from slavery and clear to cross the Sea of Reeds, Dayenu, it would have been enough.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, Nora Tehilot, Oseh Phele, who is like you, who is like you? Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Mika mocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora Tehilot, Oseh Phele, who is like you, who is like you? Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. We ask God tonight to shelter us with peace. Hashkivenu by Becky Mann. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot, Sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot, Sukkot shlomecha. Amen. When I lay my head down tonight, beneath your shelter of everlasting light, God, may I wake to a world renewed, filled with love and gratitude, filled with love and gratitude. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot, Sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot, Sukkot shlomecha. Amen.
Life viewed through the prism of Pesach's many lessons reminds us that freedom must be won again and again in every generation. Our cantor shared with me a modern-day poetic interpretation of the classic Avadim Hayenu that concludes with a thought-provoking question. What have we been slaves to this year? Slaves to our screens, slaves to our four walls, slaves to homeschooling, slaves to working from home, slaves to masks, slaves to stay-at-home orders, slaves to our health and those around us, So I ask this year, how can we be free?
Another part of our service where you can participate. Adonai, love me. In place of Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, please, God, open my lips and my heart so that I can declare your praise. What are you asking for this Shabbat, perhaps this Passover? What is in your heart? You can put it in the chat now, and we won't get to all of them, but we're going to try to get to most of them so that we can pray together the words from within you. We begin with Adonai, love me.
Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, please love me, Adonai.
You guys have one? Enlighten.
Adonai, enlighten me, Adonai, enlighten me, Adonai, enlighten me, please enlighten me, Adonai.
We have guide me.
Adonai, guide me, Adonai, guide me, Adonai, guide me, please guide me, Adonai.
Heal me.
Adonai, heal me, Adonai, heal me, Adonai, heal me, please heal me, Adonai.
Strengthen me.
Adonai, strengthen me, Adonai, strengthen me, Adonai, strengthen me, please strengthen me, Adonai.
Respect. We're going to use the word kavod.
Adonai, give me kavod, Adonai, give me kavod, Adonai, give me kavod, please give me kavod, Adonai.
Adonai, love me.
Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, please love me, Adonai.
We now rise for the Amidah in our hearts. We rise in silent prayer. If you choose to use the Siddur, pages 166 through 180. When you have completed your Amidah prayers, please be seated.
Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, please, love me, Adonai.
A special silent prayer, a special prayer for this Passover.
בכל דור ודור חייב אדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים. בכל דור ודור חייב אדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים. בכל דור ודור חייב אדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים. Can you picture yourself crossing through and wandering the desert? Can you feel the wind support you as you go? Do you hear the cries of those left behind, still hoping for tomorrow? Do you fear the mountain you still have to climb? בכל דור ודור חייב אדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים. בכל דור ודור חייב אדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים. אילו הוציאנו ממצרים, הוציאנו ממצרים, דיינו. אילו הוציאנו ממצרים, הוציאנו ממצרים, דיינו, 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 דיינו.
Mishaberach. As we approach the Mishaberach, if you'd like to share with us names of people for whom you'd like to be mentioned tonight, please do so in the chat at this time. We think of the importance of the Mishaberach in bringing us together as a community, to remind us that even at times we feel helpless, there is hope. That even at times when we are feeling low, there's the possibility to be raised up. And that most of all, when we are sick and we feel alone, the fact that others are praying for us and caring for us and loving us reminds us we are not alone. So for those who are ill and those who struggle with the matters of the heart and mind and addiction, for those who are caregivers who give of themselves to ensure that people who are struggling with their health are taken care of, we ask that God be with them, embolden them, strengthen them, give them resolve, and bring them hope and healing. I think especially now of these people who have been submitted to the temple for prayer: Kurt Plotkin, Irvin Zaid, Jean Schneider, Linda Smith, the Jones family, Sarah Devorah Bat Miriam, Doris Ackland, Malcolm Doctors, Miriam Bat Shaul. I always think of my sister Dina, and my mother Marge Axelrod.
Teresa Bertelli Ream, Tracy Ann McClellan Rosenbaum, Clay Tarika, Michael, Melissa, and Silvana, Karen Mirko, Wendy Windler, Stanley Katie Nelson, Dina Kaplan, Kellen, Jason Snyder, Joseph Hodler, Ryan McIntyre, Justin Plyman, Avi Zubli, the Jones family, Norma Cooper, Randy McCosco, George Barnett, Hal Saperstein, Bob Lieb, Sam Ginsberg, Jane Cranston, Jim Carver, Jean Poussin, Zara Leah, Brad Gilbert, Stuart Baker, Mindy Nanny, Ron Hildebrandt, Jackie Kesselhout, the Bird family, or Bayard House, George Barnett, the families of the shooting victims, Niema Clark, Lori and Wayne Mashek. Richard Krasner, Linda Huschkel, Danny Lickstein, Bob Safran.
Misheberach avoteinu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We rise for Aleinu, a very special version for this Passover and for our world today.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. We are carrying the stories of the ones ones who came before. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? We commit ourselves to action. It brings meaning to our days. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
At this time, please submit all names for Kaddish and Yortzeit, those who you are remembering tonight.
I approach Kaddish with great sadness this night. While it has been a year of COVID, it has also been a time when 4 of our family members have passed away. First, it was Uncle Art, who lived well into his 80s, always a quiet man, a retired barber, business owner. Then a few months ago, my mother-in-law, Corinne, passed away. Because of COVID, we were not able to see her until the day before she died, though she lived 2 miles away. Fortunately, that night, before she died, we were able to come together to say our goodbyes. And then, about 6 weeks ago, Cousin Kathy died. Again, COVID kept us apart. She was married to my wife's cousin, Dean. She was a librarian, a writer, a dreamer, bohemian, always ready, though, with a smile and the kindness of hearts. And then last week, my mother-in-law's sister, her baby sister, Marilyn, passed away. Aunt Marilyn was the sweetest of all, finally succumbing to a 17-year battle with cancer. Yes, people die from other things than COVID. Not of our faith, they nevertheless attended many a Seder at our home, partaking at times in cooking for the Seder and setting the table and the rousing melodies of the Seder at our home and the fun and the games. So tomorrow night our Seder will be greatly subdued, and not just due to COVID, but because these 4 chairs will be empty. I know many of you understand these feelings, the feelings of an empty chair. When the next generation slowly begins to pass away, and you look in the mirror and all of a sudden, you have become the next generation. Though sadness still surrounds my wife and myself, and tears may mar our vision as we look around the shrunken Seder table, we are nonetheless good listeners, and we will hear their voices and the many generations of voices of family and friends who have joined us at our Passover Seders over the years. Voices from childhood, voices from when I was a young father, voices from when I was the guest, voices from my own mouth as I took my place in telling the ancient story of our people. Fulfilling this mitzvah reminds me that in stories there is history, and there is wisdom, and there is laughter, and there is love.
Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. It's the song of the dreamer. From the dark place it grows, like a flower in the desert, the oasis of our souls. Come back where we belong. You who hear our longing cries, our mouths, our lips are filled with song. You can see it from our tear-filled eyes. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy.
We think of Francis Diaz, Esther Serrani, Sheldon Ergang, Scott Mednick, Mark Mednick, Irvin Frank, Asher Zelig, Ben Yosef, Michael Silver, Doris Acklin, Donna Uteg, Treva Draper, Bonnie Whittlitz, Maggie Jones, Marilyn Ruiz, Gloria Myers, Rona Pesci, Bev Eisen, Tommy Schulman, Jay Freeman, Arthur Ozzy Farber. We recall the Yortsites of Robert Abrams, Charles Amira, Troy Bartlett, Cyril Bass, Julia Carnamayas, Ada Chaikin, Julius Korn, Gerald Crone, Joseph Dandon, Pearl Davidson, Jordan Dreyfus, Nadav Lee Engel, Emmanuel Ferens, Bernard Fisher, Charles Friedberg, June Samuel Friedlander, Jenny Gersler, Celia Goldstein, Alfred Gratz, William Jones, Cindy Klein, Reba Komoto, Jason Corritt, Louis Kaufman, Saul Levinshon, Stephen Levitt, Jerry Linker, Solomon Mink, Kate Pollins, Arlene Roman, Charlie Rosenfeld, Myra Ross, Jacob Rubin, Helen Samuel, Dora Sanoff, Michelle Schlesinger, Shirley Stolberg, Bess Sundelson, Sherry Sweezy, Derek Thomas, Alexander Derek Thomas, Ray Lewis Tishkoff, Sherman Titans, Ruth Susan Weidenfeld, David Zeid.
Dick Cook, Jerry Mandel, Doris Elling, Molly Lunenfeld, Jessica Walter, Edith Chess, Paul Cranston. Arthur Farber, 5,266 Nevadan lives lost to COVID. Donald Miller, Paul Dolinsky.
So we join in Kaddish. Those who are able, please rise. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedachol be'Israel, Magalav Zman Kariv Imru Amen. Yeheshmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Omeil Maya. Yit Barach v'yishtabach v'yit Pa'ar v'yit Ramam v'yit Nasei v'yit Adar v'yit Taleh v'yit Alal Shemei Dekusha B'richu Leila Minkol Birchata V'shirata Tush Bechata V'nechemata Damiram B'yalma v'yimru Amen. Yeheshlam Rabba Min Shemai V'chayim Aleinu v'yal Kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Osei Shalom B'mramav, Hu Ya'asei Shalom, Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Those who sow in tears will reap in joy.
looks like a little kiddush, a little motzi. And have our girls come back up.
We want to thank our musicians tonight who have led a beautiful service with us. We have John, Brad, Ted, and Brett. And we have our Sheer Heart singers, a couple of our group. I hope we can get the whole group back together. We have Zoe and Yael Koff tonight. And we want to thank Rabbi, as always, for his beautiful words, although
you.
vignette number 3 was by me.
That's right. So we'll thank Cantor for sharing. And we also have Heather, our assistant, who is on tech, and Alex on sound. So thank you, guys. Though invisible to your eyes, we see them. And we appreciate what they do. So here we have, some people are saying, when are we going to open for the whole community? And I said, look, you've been patient so long. We're going to open April 16th. All right? You can
But you're
remember
going to have
that.
to sign up because we can't fit all of you back in here yet.
Well, and there's also COVID rules, but you put a good spin on it. So we are asking people to call and make a reservation just because we have to have that contract tracing. I don't know for how long. Few more months, I'm sure. But April 16th will be the first official Friday night. We're going to welcome you back in person. And then at the end of the month, even though it won't be indoors, it'll be in the parking lot. What do we have? The very last Friday is?
Everybody's favorite Shabbat, which is...
Is it my birthday? No.
Again, no.
No.
Not till October.
Not till October. So it's April, so it's got to, well, that's
No,
still
it's not usually in
confusing.
April. This is not usually
Never
in
in
April.
April, but this year.
It is Beatles Shabbat on April 30th. So we'll be announcing the details on that soon. But when you see it go up, you should register right away because I think we might actually sell out.
Yeah, so that'll be the last Friday night in April. Be there. All right, a little wine or grape juice as the case may be.
And God blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Now, our challah sponsor actually brought the challah a couple weeks ago. We had a double challah situation, so we are thanking her tonight. It's been
A
waiting
double
for us.
challah situation.
A double challah
Is
situation.
that a thing?
I just made it a thing.
Okay, made it a thing.
So we thank her for it's been in the freezer waiting for us, and now it's thawed and nice. It was Joanne Bernick who brought this beautiful challah for us, and we have no one signed up for the future. So
Well, next week's easy. 'cause
yeah,
it's still
matzah.
Passover.
Who wants to bring a box? Maybe
Yeah.
I'll bring my matzah toffee.
That would be
as
good.
our challah.
Okay, you're signed up.
Okay, I'll sign up for next week. But then after that, we're going to need your help. So I will make sure that we put that challah sign up back on our social media so that you can sign up for the rest of April and May. We want to see your interesting challahs, and we want to celebrate your simchas and remember those who are close to you. Any reason to bake a challah. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
You guys want another
Amen.
piece? All right. Again, thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate you guys. Sounded great. And what's our final song? What's our final song, girls?
I bet you can guess.
What is it?
Oh,
Oh, say shalom. You sure?
I think I want to hear you guys do it. I think you should lead it, and then I'll chime in later.
All right, for $1 million. It is Oh Say Shalom. Here we go.
Say shalom, bimromav. Oh, say shalom, bimromav.
Good Shabbos, everyone. Zisen Pesach, a sweet and joyous Passover. Shabbat Shalom.
See you tomorrow morning for Torah study and Minyan, 8:45 and 9:45 on the Zoom.
All right. Good Shabbos.
Whoa. Wow. Is it all